like to mention that every board member who is here should please come forward. The reserve table is for you. We'd like to welcome especially everyone who's joining us physically and virtually. Ini, there is a hashtag for this event.
Yes, there's the hashtag WSAIR 2025. I'll say that again. It's hashtag WSAIR. So you want to take a selfie, take a picture, you know, whatever information you have as the event progresses. Please share it so that those who are not here physically can actually be part of the event and enjoy it with you.
Once again, it's hashtag WSAIR 2025. You can use that on X, on Instagram, on Facebook. I hear that there's a new one now. Is it Twitch or something? I mean, sometimes you go too old for social media. But anyone that you're using, please ensure to use that hashtag, and we'd definitely like to see your pictures and your comments there.
Sure, and just a little bit of background to why we're here today, how we got here today. We'd like to tell you a little bit about the Wole Soyinka Award for Investigative Reporting. The very first edition was in October 2005, and the essence of it was to inspire and promote the practice of investigative journalism in Nigeria. Over the years, it served as a platform to spotlight and reward courageous journalists who use their work to expose human rights violations, regulatory shortcomings, and corruption across various sectors of the country.
Absolutely, and distinguished guests, it's the 20th anniversary of this award. Can we once again put our hands together for the Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism?
Nifemi, when you think of 20 years, you think of the different phases that we've gone through. COVID is just one of them.
That's right.
Going through military, democracy after democracy, we know the threats on the continent to democracy at this time.
Indeed.
And having the center hold forth and expose, I mean, I was reading through some of those stories of people in power, abuse of power, kidnappings, right under our noses. So when we have a center that's able to hold through these different phases, I think it's really worth celebrating.
Absolutely. Holding government to account, can we celebrate every winner of this award in the past 20 years once again? Are you tired of clapping yet? Let me break the news. You will clap a lot tonight, so get some energy. 20 years of shining lights into corners. Some people would rather keep dark. The Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism has stayed true to this mission, building a Nigeria rooted in inclusion, in transparency, and accountability. I'm wondering what you looked like 20 years ago.
So actually, I'm a fellow. Oh, so you can have, my picture is there.
Beautiful.
So you have an idea of what I look like. That was 2013. So you can check it out if you want to know what I looked like. I certainly didn't look like this.
Somebody should please snap that picture and put it online. Welcome again, everyone. We'd like to recognize the presence of some of our special guests who came in quite early. We'd like to say thank you for coming in early. We do not believe in African time. We believe that life is spent in the currency of time, and that's why the center ensures that its events kickstart on the dot of the time that has been scheduled.
Yes, we have some special guests to recognize. I'll start. We're expecting the man who has honorably and graciously given us his name at the Wole Soyinka. Professor Wole Soyinka will be here in person. And then we'll also have Michelle Deline, the Consul General of the Kingdom of Netherlands in Lagos. We also have Professor Abigail Ogwezi Ndisika, the Chair, 2025 Judges Board, and also award judges and members of the screening committee, and a lot of media partners. Of course, this is a media thing. We have Wole Soyinka laureates and past finalists. So the Wole Soyinka laureates are the winners. So in honor of the name and the excellence that those winners have brought to that name,
Indeed.
They are called Wole Soyinka laureates. They are editors, representatives of the media, founders, non-government organizations, public sector representatives, and a whole lot more.
All right, we just need to whet the appetite for a bit. We'll introduce quite a number of our special guests shortly. But can we please all rise for the national anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria?
Thank God for Nigeria.
Absolutely. I noticed
Please
that.
let's put our hands together for Nigeria. It's our country.
You guys were not singing along. What happened? You have not learnt it.
I'm waiting for Unifemi.
Or you were meditating through it. All right, I can see the matriarch herself right there, Mrs. Bimbo Loyede. Can we please put our hands together for the pioneer broadcaster and the mentor whose voice and example opened doors for so many of us. In the course of this event, we're also going to introduce to you quite a number of our special guests who are already seated.
And I believe the finalists also, they have brought us here. Can we have the finalists stand up? Let's appreciate them and recognize them. The finalists, please stand up. Yes, these are the courageous ones. The ones whose picture you see around like that. We celebrate you. Well done, guys. Well
Is there
done.
something about investigative journalism and that Hausa cap? Maybe that's why I haven't done so much investigative reports in my career. All right. Please, once again, put your hands together for them. Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate you and for all the works that you've done. We would also like to extend our appreciation to the screening committee who indeed undertook crucial task of conducting the initial review of all the entries for this year. This year's committee include Ms. Tessie Gomo, Dr. Olatunji Ololade, and Mr. Jibola Amzad. Can we please put our hands together for them?
And also, we'd like to express our sincere gratitude to esteemed judges for their diligence and dedication in meticulously reviewing the entries. We do appreciate your efforts and your time, your expertise that you have given. Ms. Stella Dean Jacob is one of those. Can we please appreciate them as I call their names? Mr. Dayo Ayeton, Ms. Stella Iyaji, and Mr. Akintude Akinleye, Professor Abigail Ogwesin Desika, and create them.
And while you were doing that, the Consul General Kingdom of Netherlands just walked in, a diplomat deeply in tune with Nigeria's heartbeat. Can we please welcome Consul General Michel Dellen? You're welcome. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us.
Well, it's my honor to officially open the floor with opening remarks, and we're going to have Muturayo Alaka. She's the Executive Director and the Chief Executive Officer of the Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism to deliver her remarks.
Okay, we're going to work out that details. She's using a lot of sign language, and I think...
I didn't understand it.
I missed that in secondary school. But we're going to have that fixed. Can we please put our hands together as she comes?
Okay, good evening, everyone. You're welcome. So I was listed to do the opening, but I told my colleagues they were in error. Mr. Adapolo Yomi is more fitting for the opening remarks, so I'll just hand over to the founder, Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism, to do the opening.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Board of Trustees of this center, the heroes of the night, awardees, friends of the center, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. If you know the history of this center, you will also know that someone might have floated the idea, but this center ended up being built by some other persons. So I'll start first by giving a little background to how all this came about. In the early 2000s, the challenge, among the many challenges that we face as a country, was, of course, really how do we deepen the democratic meaning of our country. Remember, we were coming from about 30 years of military autocracy, just random violation of people's rights, rampant corruption, impunity of the worst types. And it was important to look to one institution that can be of value, that can be helpful. So we got the opportunity through the Freedom House then in the United States, was trying to do a program of training of journalists. And we pitched the idea that journalism in Nigeria had been at the very front rank in the struggle for our independence. At the very decisive moments in our history, it was right there in helping to terminate military rule. In the general fight against corruption in this country, journalism had always been right there. Even the very difficult time when we had this about 2 years of civil war in this country, the effort to rebuild consensus and bring people together, journalism was one institution that was available. So it's so important to understand that very pivotal role that good journalism can play in the transformation of a society. And we pitched the idea then that if we were going to be training journalists, offering them modest grants to do good stories, and also reward them with prizes, might this not make better sense to also brand this whole effort? Who else than the one man who himself had been an exemplar, one of the greatest storytellers of all times in the history of our country, in the history of the region, Professor Wole Soyinka, who has shown incredible courage at every time, has suffered the worst kind of, he's gone to exile, he's been mutilated, he's been put in jail and all that. So we approached him and he was kind enough to allow the center to be branded in his name. Then we had a board. We had to put a board together quickly, and we were lucky also that we had one of the greatest academics in the history of, our country, Professor Roku Shikoni, who made himself available, and he's here. Please, like to say a big thank you to him. Yeah. So this is just the idea of making of the center, so to say. But all staff, all the judges, all the partners that understood that we were on a mission rather than just trying to create one institution and stood by the center, they are the ones that we must give credit to on a day like this. So thank you. So in honoring our staff, in honoring our boards of trustees, and also all the friends of the center, we've come to this point. I want to crave your indulgence to mention Mutrayo Alaka, the lady here, because if the true history of the center must be written, well, she's at the center in the making of this whole idea. And the whole idea that a tree cannot make a forest is anachronistic. This woman has shown that really a tree can make a forest, and she is somebody. So 20 years, we face new challenges, obviously. We face challenges of synthetic intelligence. AI is going to make the job we do incredibly difficult. The economic conditions to do good journalism have tremendous headwinds. The whole ethical rot in the profession, a major challenge. Repressive laws. These are the kinds of challenges that we face as we move into the future. But at every point, journalism has risen to the occasion, has proved itself worthy, and I believe that with the kinds of young men who are coming to the profession, for the center in particular, and many of its types that are now working in the whole area of journalism, rather than be depressed, I think we have reason to be more hopeful. At the center itself, from tomorrow, we'll be inaugurating a new set of boards, men and women of great integrity, who are also going to be offering their own time, energy, and resources to move us forward. The center has also just recruited a new set of extraordinarily bright young men and women. We're very grateful that they are willing to lend the resources of their talents for this very important job. Democracy will be impossible, practically impossible, if we don't have good journalism. And good journalism can only be meaningful if it serves public good. So, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, the management of the center, led by Mutrayo Alaka, the staff, friends, it is my honor to welcome you tonight. And I have to hand over. Nifemi, come and grab this your microphone from me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Once again, can we put our hands together for him? Oh, you can do much better than that, distinguished guests. Mr. Dapo Oloriyomi is quite soft-spoken, but you don't want to mistake that for his impact. Media executive, veteran journalist, founder, Wole Soyinka Center for Journalism, and also publisher with Premium Times. Once again, can we put our hands together for him? 20 years ago, this award was named after a man whose life, words, and courage shaped modern Nigerian thought, and he just walked in, distinguished guest, Nobel laureate, playwright, poet, activist, a man who has never feared the consequences of truth. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Professor Wole Soyinka. Is that how you celebrate your hero? Thank you so much. You're welcome, Prof. Now let's take some goodwill messages as we officially open this event. I'm bringing up someone whose name has become quite familiar across Nigeria's civil society and the media landscape. A diplomat who understands the heartbeat of Nigeria, who supports press freedom, gender equality, and platforms like this one. Ladies and gentlemen, for his remark, please welcome Consul General of the Kingdom of Netherlands, Mr. Michel Delin, to give his goodwill message. The Kingdom of Netherlands and Lagos has been an invaluable and impactful partner to this center. Once again, can we make him feel welcome?
Thank you very much. And good evening, everybody. And a special welcome, of course, to Professor Wole Soyinka. A great honor to have you all here. And let me start by congratulating the center, because this is an evening of congratulations, of celebration. 20 years as a nonprofit, as an NGO, 20 years is quite remarkable, because there are many ideas that will not last for 20 years. This was, as it was just mentioned, this was a great idea, investigative journalism. In a country where you need investigation for many, many reasons. Of course, as the previous speaker also mentioned, coming from a military dictatorship whereby if you investigate too much, it might not end well for you, but also in a way of professionalizing journalism, in a way of professionalizing the way to write stories. And for those of you who see me standing here and saw me in previous years, my apologies if I repeat myself, but you know, there are things that a newspaper, a journalist can do. He should grasp the attention of the reader. Unfortunately, there are many newspapers in this country that have long pages full of text that sometimes seem to be written to confuse the reader even more than to sort of enlighten him. And with all due respect, I think that is because the journalist wants to write a complete story. So the journalist writes everything that he or she heard, everything that was said, and then once again in a summary. And that's how you get very big newspapers. That's fine, but we live in 2025, and we have a lot of young people, the younger generation, and believe you me, they're not going to read that. They are sort of trained nowadays to do things in snippets, to read things in snippets. And I think that also means that a journalist needs to sort of adapt to that style. But how do you do that if you're an investigative journalist? Because if you're an investigative journalist, you want to tell the story as it is. That is a big challenge. That is a big challenge. And even more in general, it is a big challenge to be an investigative journalist in any country. But let's be very honest, also here in Nigeria. I think I can say certain things because I've been around the country for 14 years, less than the Wole Soyinka Center exists. But so I've seen journalists also applying self-censorship and saying, I'm not going to write about this. This might be tricky, this might be dangerous. And I fully understand. Being an investigative journalist is actually being out there in the trenches sometimes. We say we've come a long way, and we have come a long way, because we can go further in writing about things than in the past. But still, we have, we correct ourselves. We think, okay, I'm not going to write this, let me not do that. And that's a matter of the situation where we found ourselves in. The great thing is that the Wole Soyinka Center trains and trains and trains young journalists to really do this job, to be smart. Of course, they are smart when they join, otherwise they wouldn't be allowed in. But to be even smarter in the way in which they exercise the noble profession of being an investigative journalist. Because let's be honest, it is not an easy profession. And those who chose for that, they've chosen to go the hard way. Not the easy way to go to events in fancy hotels and write which noble person was there and which governor and which movie star. No, but to go out there and dig deep and find and see what really happened behind the scenes. And although, because of the trainings that are given and because of the awareness, in a way you could say things have become a little bit easier, the other way, things have become more difficult. And obviously, I'm alluding to artificial intelligence and fake news. Over the weekend, there was a coup in our neighboring country. The fake news that was on social media regarding that coup was amazing. It was a clear example, a clear-cut case, actually, of how, as a reader, but probably also as a journalist, you don't know exactly what to believe anymore. The French have invaded. The Nigerians have sent in the army. The Russians are coming. All these things, it's simply, you know, from what I could deduct, Nigeria sent some planes to fly over and maybe did some things. But every news on social media about that event was going in all directions. And that also shows you that those who want to spread disinformation are very professional. They probably get paid more. They are with many more people. They can use all the fancy ICT tools, and they will fill the internet and the buzz with all kinds of information that is simply not correct, with a reason to confuse people. And then you confuse people and they don't know what to believe anymore, and then you distract them from what's really going on. What is really going on? That is what an investigative journalist should look into. And I know the examples of previous years. What is really going on can be as much as what is really going on in my village. Something strange happened, or some contract was awarded that shouldn't be, or some person has been kidnapped and somebody else is behind it. It can be quite local. It can also be on the national level. What is really going on? Because it's fascinating to see that those who do things that are not acceptable, or that say things that they don't want to know other people. You could have a situation whereby people don't care. I think America actually has a president at the moment whereby people don't care. He doesn't care. He just does things. Now, in many places, there's still a situation whereby people sort of do certain things or circumvent rules and regulations, or even worse, but they want to hide it. There the investigative journalist comes in. The investigative journalist is not a policeman. It's not a public prosecutor. It's somebody who goes in there and who sort of puts it into the open. And then it's up for the rest to do something with that story. Unfortunately, there are many stories to tell. Every time I travel around, I hear stories and I say, wow, really? Is that what's really happening? That's not what we read in the newspaper. And therefore, my support, and our wholeheartedly support, goes out to those investigative journalists who really make sure that what needs to be uncovered is also uncovered. And my deep respect for that. And that's also why, from the Dutch embassy side, we are involved with the Wole Soyinka Center. Because, as was said before, it's essential for any democracy to make sure that there is a form of transparency. But it's essential for any society to make sure that people know, that people are not lied to, that it is transparent. But it doesn't happen by itself. It doesn't happen automatically. It requires sometimes sort of to lift up the stone to see what's under it, and then to write about it. It's not the journalist who's going to follow up, but the rest. So congratulations on your 20th anniversary. The work of the Wole Soyinka Center will only become more and more and more important, because, as I said, the counter forces are actually professionalizing quite rapidly. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. All right. So moving on now, the Judges Board comprises veteran journalists, media professionals, and senior academics within the media sector. Professor Abigail Ogwezi Ndisika serves as the chair of the 2025 Judges Board. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome her as she comes to deliver her comments. You're welcome, Prof. Prof, please, you have 5 minutes. Yes. I know, right? We'll celebrate again next year. That's yours. Thank you.
Your Excellency, our inspiration for WSCIJ, we call it WSCIJ Wole Soyinka Award for Investigative Reporting, Professor Wole Soyinka, our own dear Nobel laureate, we're glad to have you here. Thank you. And our heroic nominees. May I seek your kind permission to adopt the protocol already laid by the Masters of Ceremony. I've been asked to speak on what we saw as judges and what we did. And I title what we have here today as the Architects of Accountability, a verdict on the future of truth. And before I get into that, let's take a look at the process for this 2025 award. The call for entries opened on October 4th and closed on October 24. At the close of the call for entries, a robust 180 entries were received. 180. It's a good point to clap. The next was the screening, because it will be a very Herculean task for us to read all the 180. But be that as it may, after the screening, 129 entries were sent to us. We had 64 online stories, 32 print entries, 11 television, and 8 radio entries. We also had 8 photo stories and 6 editorial cartoons. Of course, the judges have been introduced to us, so I wouldn't bore you with that. You also have our names on the agenda for today, or the program for the event. All the judges, we saw this call as a call to duty and a duty to serve. And we were mandated by the center to assess and score all the entries received from the various categories I earlier listed. We did this individually and independently using the set criteria, and they centered on uncovering corruption, human rights abuses, crime and clandestine activities, and best practices in investigative journalism. We meticulously evaluated each entry, scoring them individually on an average of 100 points. We focused on elements of courage, depth, accuracy, impact, and commitment to public interest. Our final collation session held on November 21, and we took a deep dive into the heart of Nigerian society. And it was a sobering task based on what we saw. The task to me is about 2 decades, 1 constant light, the reason we're gathered here today. Now, looking at 2 decades, 1 constant light, that is the 20th award ceremony that we are gathered here to celebrate. It's 20 years is not just longevity, it's a legacy of investigative reporting. And that is the future of the truth. So the theme for today captures what we have done and the work laid before us. And so we looked at what we're doing as the engine room of truth. So based on that, I will share with you our observations and reflections, and that is the verdict of the team. What we saw, they were not just stories, they were profound acts of civic stewardship, affirming the media's constitutional duty to hold power to account. While the selection process ensured the highest investigative standards, the original high volume of entries confirms the urgency of public interest issues across the nation. If we receive 180 entries based on that criteria, I should tell you that there is urgency in terms of things of public interest. And what we saw revealed at least 3 crucial dimensions of the current state of investigative reporting. The first one is the state of our nation. We had a catalog of crises. We saw things around environmental genocide and corporate impunity. Again, we saw the nexus of security and transnational crime. We saw a humanitarian crisis of neglect with what we saw in the IDP camps. We also saw rot in the public sector. All those are under the first theme. The second is the evolution of the craft that speaks to innovation and courage. We looked at the power of scientific evidence. We saw people who put themselves in the harm's way to pursue truth. We saw creativity, juxtaposition, and humanization. We also saw great depth in visual storytelling. The third one is around the imperative for improvement in the areas of concern. There are issues around the depth divide. As we saw in previous years, a large number of entries submitted remain an each depth research, rather than genuine investigative reports. We also saw again the challenge of conciseness and precision, as His Excellency already pointed out, that people want things in snippet now, but we saw that quite issue around the challenge of conciseness, and it was very clear with the online category because they have all the space to do what they did. So some of them were flawed for verbosity. We also saw crisis in radio reporting. It's a matter of profound concern that the radio category which is actually a medium that reaches quite a large number of audience, but we saw a critical gap in the content of what was submitted. And that gives us challenge for the next 2 decades. And I'm sure the person at the helm of affairs at the center, Muturai, will speak to that in setting agenda for the next 2 decades. It's very important that we embrace truth. We need to insist on action and also invest in resilience. We saw that most of the reports, they did not invest in resilience. That's why they were just an inch depth of research. We saw them as features. So I'll proceed to conclude. So we're honoring those and also our own very inspiration, our own dear Professor Wole Soyinka, whose life is a testament to the power of word, as already established by the founder of the center, Mr. Dr. Oloriyomi. The word to battle tyranny and darkness, the center reaffirms its commitment to strengthening the media ecosystem. The pen also remains the instrument for social change. So let's celebrate our 20th anniversary and pledge that for the next 2 decades and beyond, the pursuit of truth will be undeterred, uncompromised, and ceaseless. Let us now appreciate all those who have given us the opportunity to do this. My profound gratitude goes to the entire Judges Board for their tireless commitment and exemplary integrity. If you had met us, yes, it's a good point to clap. We actually did a blind assessment of all of them. The collation, everybody, we were all arguing our points, and you saw integrity stand. For integrity, everybody will say, this is the winner. So by the time they introduce the winner and run the commentary, you will really know that integrity spoke. So I thank the Judges Board. I also thank them for honoring me to chair this very historic award, Judges Board. And thank you all for your dedication. And let me say, I leave here by telling you, cheers to a night of courage. Thank you very much. I think I spent only 3 minutes.
I understand that you are counting it in. Once again, can we put our hands together for the Prof? Now you understand what it means to be a prize winner and a fellow with the Wole Soyinka Awards for Investigative Reporting and all of the great work that has gone into it. Yorubas will say, Ibia Wilade. Do you know what it means?
In Ibia Wilade. Of course, I know, Nifemi. I was born in Lagos, spent all my years here, of course.
I like that.
This is the crux of the matter.
Absolutely. So I think I should just switch to Yoruba, then you can interpret in English.
Don't push too hard.
Tonight, distinguished guests, we have two sets of awards. The Wole Soyinka Award for Investigative Reporting and the Honorary Awards. Now, the Wole Soyinka Award for Investigative Reporting is divided into 6 categories. How many categories? 6. So we have online, radio, television, photo, editorial, cartoon, and print. And journalists who sent in their entries have been assessed across those categories by judges.
And finalists for each category have been grouped into 3 levels. Interesting levels, I must say. The first one is commended works. So we have someone who's the winner for the commended works category. Then we have runner-ups. And of course, then we have the winner. So the runner-ups and the commended works will both get certificate and cash prize, while the winner will get an award plaque, a certificate, cash prize, and an international trip.
To break it down for you, commended means you came 3rd, runner-up is 2nd, and then the winner is the Oga Patakpata of them all. Do you understand? But I like Wole Soyinka Center. They have found a touche way to put it. Commended, runner-up, and of course the winner.
I believe the finalists are also called Wole Soyinka
laureates.
Laureates.
Absolutely.
So, sir, we're using your name so much. Thank you.
We just thought that, what are the chances that any other Nigerian will become a Nobel laureate? So we wanted to share it with every other person in this lifetime.
Please,
so
let's appreciate
celebrate the Prof for being so magnanimous.
Really generous.
So when they said they were laureates, I said, are they also Nobel laureates? They said, no, remove the Nobel. They're just Soyinka laureates.
Yes.
Awesome. So distinguished guests, it's getting quite interesting at this moment. And then we're going to kickstart with
the online category. And I'd like to invite veteran broadcaster, Ms. Bimbo Oloyede, a mentor to many. You know, people like us, always looking up to her. Please, let's make her feel appreciated as she comes up to help us give the awards. Mrs. Bimbo Oloyede. Please, let's keep it going. She's going to walk all the way here. Let's encourage her. We're walking with you, ma'am, and we appreciate
the most beautiful 71-year-old in this hall.
I know, right?
All right, let us begin with the commended. They have given us the honor to announce the winners, and this is absolutely beautiful. I didn't do the work, but I get to call out the winner. Isn't that amazing? Let's begin with the commended, published by Hubert Angle on 27th May 2025. The story is Lost Homes, No Aid. Please put your hands together for Issa Ismaila. And it came with Babariga. Come on, make him feel welcome. Keep clapping, don't stop.
This is one of
The report was prompted by the growing invisibility of IDPs in North Central Nigeria. And in recognition of his investigative report, Issa Ismaila is commended today in the online category of the 2025 Wole Soyinka Award for Investigative Reporting.
And then we have the runner-up. The runner-up is Kunle Adebajo. Kunle Adebajo. His report, the Internet Fundraising Marathons Behind IPOB's Armed Struggle in Nigeria. It's a human angle investigated story on the hidden financial operations of the separatist movement in southeastern Nigeria. In his report, Kunle tracked hours of live-streamed fundraising meetings, extracting and analyzing data that revealed how supporters contributed money to the group's campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, Kunle Adebajo.
Winner of the online category. This comes with a plaque like that, a certificate, cash prize, and guess what? An international trip. And I was asking them, is the international trip for vacation? They said no. They are going for investigative conference somewhere.
We love investigation, whether artwork in Nigeria,
absolutely,
international, it's all investigation.
And if you travel to Eco Atlantic, it's still international because it's a free trade zone. Once again, put your hands together for the winner, distinguished guest. The winner is
Theophilus Adedokun.
Theophilus Adedoko. Spent more than 2 weeks in the field, visiting more than 8 out of 18 communities located in Okpoko local government area of Benue State. For his investigative piece, is recognized as a winner in the online category of the 2025 Wole Soyinka Award for investigative reporting. Can we please celebrate him? The winner gets the mic to give a 1-minute remark. He can choose not to take it, but because investigative journalists don't talk so much, right?
They're out in the field.
They're out on the field. Please make him feel welcome. Celebrate Theophilus Adedoko. Let me hold this for you. Can you snap me with this so they can think I want it?
Don't steal somebody's property.
Good evening, everyone. I feel so honored to win this laurel, especially because it's actually named after one of the people I look up to, which is Wole Soyinka. Growing up as a kid, I read a lot of Wole Soyinka, from The Lion and the Dread to his present novel, which is The Chronicle of the Happiest People on Earth. I feel so honored, and this is an indication that the sky is the beginning and the starting point to actually document underreported stories. Thank you very much.
All right, so the next category was supposed to be the radio category, but it's, unfortunately, it's blank. So we do not have a winner, no commended, no runner-up, no winner for the radio category.
What happened to the radio this year?
I think the challenge is on the journalists active in that space.
We're going to ask Professor Abigail what happened to radio. Let's move on to my favorite category, television. Are you ready for this? No commended, no runner-up, but we have a winner. What kind of a winner is that?
It's a straight-to-the-point winner.
Straight-to-the-point winner.
Yes.
Please let's make welcome Professor Abigail for the presentation of this award. Can we celebrate her as she comes up? The winner of the television category, Wole Soyinka Award of Investigative Reporting 2025 is
Muslim Muhammad Yusuf.
Muslim Muhammad Yusuf.
Yufemi, I think there's something about that hat.
That cap. I mentioned it earlier.
Get it.
I have 2 at home. Why didn't I bring it? Maybe they would have given me an award today.
I know.
The investigative documentary Inside Abuja's Drug Problem by Muslim Muhammad for Trust TV documents the thriving illegal drug trade in Nigeria's capital city, where narcotics are openly sold and consumed in broad daylight, despite heavy security presence and repeated law enforcement crackdowns. For this undercover report, Muslim Muhammad Yusuf is recognized winner in the television category of the 2025 Wole Soyinka Award for Investigative Reporting.
And I think a bit of the work that Muslim did is what we're watching now on the screen.
There are many harmful substances to pick from. In this documentary, Trust TV goes undercover inside some of Abuja's notorious drug dens to expose how cartels thrive and the hidden networks that sustain the illegality.
And they can keep the drugs in their cell, maybe the storekeeper, now after a long time, they can just bring it out and look for somebody and sell.
Babu, wanda bai saidawa. Ai duk wanda ke kamawa yana saidawa.
If I sell drugs now, I will know one of the big security operative in the country, you understand? You understand? Example now, they will go to Gwarimpa after seizing drugs. You understand? Instead of taking it to their...
In the heart of...
Oh, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm really excited to receive this award from Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism. This is really something to be proud of, and I would like to extend special appreciation to my editors, especially the Media Trust, for giving me this opportunity to explore my talent, and the editor, Lami Sadiq, and also my family. And I would actually say that this report was quite hard for me, I had to go into hiding for about 1 month after the report, looking for me, drug dens everywhere. So it was really, I'm happy to see that my work is commended and is recognized by Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, the latest Soyinka laureate, give it up for Mohammed Muslim. By the way, I've been in hiding for 1 year. I mean,
that's why we've been in hiding for 1 year.
Yes, this report that I did, they've been looking for me.
Where were you hiding?
I just came out today. Once again, please make him feel celebrated. Can we put our hands together for him? That wasn't easy at all.
All right, the next category is the Prince category, and we'll ask, please, honor us with your presence, Mr. Umar Pate, to come and give the award. Mr. Umar Pate, please.
Radio has no commended a runner-up, but this category has 1, 2, 3, 4 commended nominees in this category. Commended for the Prince category, distinguished guests, please put your hands together for Anne Godwin.
Yeah, and we have Tina Agosi Todo.
Julius Osahon.
As well as Monday Osoyade.
Monday
Osoyade.
Osoyade. Sorry, I just got back. I'm not quite used to this name. Sorry. All right, please put your hands together for them as they come out. Thank you so much. Anne Godwin, Tina Agosi Todo, Julius Osahon, Monday Osoyade.
Mr. Umar Pate. All right, and the story, South-South, an oil-rich region with dunghills of abandoned projects, published on The Guardian, investigates the paradox of a region that fuels Nigeria's economy, but is itself buried under failed promises and abandoned infrastructure. The story, a product of months of field reporting by Anne Godwin, Tina Agositodo, Osahon Julius, and Monday Osoyade, exposes the number of incomplete projects across the 6 oil-producing states of the South-South and the devastating social and economic impact on the people.
We'd like to call on the Consul General for the presentation of this award. Please put your hands together for Mr. Mitchell Jellin. So for the investigative piece, this investigation team is commended in the Prince category at the 2025 Wole Soyinka Award for Investigative Reporting. Please put your hands together for the lady.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right, let's move on now to the photo category. We'd like to call on Professor Rocco Shikoni for the presentation of award.
All right, and for this category, we do have a runner-up. We don't have commended, neither do we have a winner, but we have a runner-up. And the runner-up is Kingsley Jeremiah. Kingsley Jeremiah. Please, let's appreciate him. Very nice picture, well, not a good picture though, but captures it and paints it in your mind. Empty plates, bleak future, how malnutrition is devastating northern Nigeria. He investigated the hunger crisis that's affecting children in the northern part of the country and exposes how 25 years of failed nutrition policies, weak implementation, poverty, insecurity have left hospitals overflowing with malnourished children, many dying from preventable illnesses, the reality of Nigeria, unfortunately. But let's appreciate him for this great work that he's done.
We are still with the print category. I beg your pardon. We're still with the print category, and Kingsley Jeremiah just won the runner-up prize. Winner for the print category 2025, the story is Journalist Secures 2 Jobs with Oluwole certificates by Afiz Anafi. Please put your hands together for him. Published on Saturday, September 2025 on Daily Trust newspaper, the work exposes a forgery network at Oluwole that now operates underground in collaboration with some police officers after a massive raid on its hideout. Today, Afiz Anafi is being recognized as the winner in the print category at the 2025 Wole Soyinka Award for Investigative Journalism, Investigative Reporting in the same category. Are you beefing Afiz? I thought you would put your hands together for him.
Congratulations, Afiz. You have a minute to share your thoughts.
Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, I give thanks to God for making this a possibility. Secondly, I thank the management of Media Trust Group, particularly the GCEO, Malam Shikara Ahmad, and my editor, former EIC, Malam Naziru, for his contribution to where I am today. I also need to appreciate the efforts of the editors who brought about this story. I must confess that it's not my idea. It was an idea that was suggested about 2 weeks after I was made the investigation editor. And then I was like, what is there in this story? And so it taught me a lesson that when someone suggested an idea to you, as a journalist, if you can't find the interesting angle immediately, you have to ruminate about it. Think over it again and again, and there can be a silver line somewhere. And this is the product today. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Well, when Afi speaks, you better listen. He's a Soyinka laureate now. Please put your hands together for him once again.
All right, the next category is the photo category.
The photo category, we'd like to welcome Motura Yolaka to do us the honors for this category. Thank you so much. Don't look too shocked. All right, let's go. Commended work goes to
Elliot Savaje.
Elliot Ovaje. Please put your hands together for Elliot.
And the image by Elliot Ovaje, which featured on June 9, 2025 on Punch newspaper, Beneath the Black Gold, oil-rich Niger Delta's paradox of plenty and pain. It captures the contrast between the immense oil wealth extracted from Nigeria's Niger Delta and the poverty of the people. Focused on the riverine communities of Omadino and Uwakeno in Delta State, the image speaks on the paradox of abundance and suffering in the communities. Ladies and gentlemen, Elliot.
Is Elliot here? All right, runner-up for this category, distinguished guest, goes to Ugoma Ogu Matthias. African Angles Ugoma uses a lens to spotlight the state of nomadic education in Yagoji, a rural community in Kwale area of Abuja, where children enrolled in LEA primary school continue to learn under trees. Very terrible pictures there, without classrooms, without books or basic learning materials. Lessons we understand are usually interrupted by livestock, and pupils sit on bare grounds exposed to harsh weather conditions. For this powerful image, Ugona Ogu Matthias is hereby recognized as a runner-up in the photo category of the 2025 Wole Soyinka Award for Investigative Reporting.
And we have a winner. And the winner is
Elliot Ovaje.
Yet again.
Well, yet again, Elliot captures another powerful story here through the lens. Is Elliot here? Okay, someone is coming for him.
Representative. Well, this time, he turned his camera on the devastating aftermath of the OML-18 gas and oil spillage in Buguma, headquarters of the Kalabari Kingdom in Rivers State. The images captured over multiple visits to Buguma tells the story of a once thriving fishing community whose rivers have turned toxic. The spill traced to facilities under the OML 18, a field jointly operated by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited now and its partners, spilled crude and gas into the creeks, coating the water surface with thick films of oil. Congratulations to Elliot. All right, so the next category is the editorial cartoon category. And in this category, we do have commended, we have a runner-up, and we also have a winner. So I'll start with the commended. And the winner of the commended in this category is Chukwuemeka Emenike. Chukwuemeka Emenike.
I'd like to call on Mr. Dakwoloriyomi to do us the honor of presenting this prize.
So the story, the cartoon, Glitches Syndrome by Chukwuemeka Emenike, a senior cartoonist at New Telegraph, explores how the term glitch has evolved into a symbol of public distrust in Nigeria's democratic and administrative institutions. It reflects on how the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, remember that word, glitch, glitch, glitch. Well, it attributed its inability to upload presidential election results to glitches. And the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM, they also use that a lot. And he captured that. Thank you so much for doing that, Chukwuemeka. Please, let's put our hands together for him.
Good thing is there won't be any glitch during your award presentation today. Congratulations once again. We have the runner-up for the editorial cartoon category. And this one goes to Victor Asowata. Victor Asowata's The Medical Tourist, published by the Wole newspaper on Sunday, September 28, 2025, critiques the neglect of the health sector and the hypocrisy of medical tourism. Victor Asowata's cartoon is hereby recognized as runner-up in the 2025 cartoon category of the Wole Soyinka Award for Investigative Reporting. It's good to put a face to all of these cartoon pictures. Once again, put your hands together for Victor Asowata. And the category winner, Mr. Asowata, I have an advice for you. I don't think you should go. You should come back because you have won this category. Please put your hands together for Victor Asowata in his cartoon published on 19 January 2025 in the Wole News. It draws up a scene of gross dereliction in which a police officer ignores a violent shark labeled terror beside a complicit sponsor feeding it money and instead chases down a harmless hunger protester. Already recognized as runner-up tonight in the same category, Victor Asowata is hereby recognized as the winner of the editorial cartoon category of the 2025 Wole Soyinka Award for Investigative category. So what does it feel like now to be both a runner-up and a winner? And then to know that you're traveling out of Nigeria? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, thank you so much. I want to thank God Almighty for this great feat. I don't take it lightly at all. I want to appreciate God that has sustained me over the years. By the grace of God, I've been here for 6 years consistently, and I give all the glory to God because He's my inspirator, He's my strength. I also want to give thanks to the Wole Soyinka Center, led by the indefatigable Moturaya Alaka, and I want to appreciate what the impact of the center has done to me as an artist, as a cartoonist, and I want to appreciate the center for the commitment to excellence. I want to thank God also for the organization in which I've been given the platform to express my talent. That's the Wole newspaper. I've been in the Wole newspaper as a cartoon editor since inception. And I want to thank the management for the privilege they have given me for this. I want to appreciate also my family, my ogas, who are also here. My wife, my children are here to celebrate this moment with me. I want to also thank everyone that is here today celebrating excellence in journalism. And I am indeed honored that today my mentor, Professor Wole Soyinka, is in this event today. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Congratulations, Victor. Congratulations to you. All right, then the next category now.
Victor, we should give you a job on TV because you spoke for a long time. You should add talking to your cartoon artistry. Can we celebrate Victor once again?
All right, so we're now going to the 2025 Honorary Awards category. We have two very honorable individuals that we're celebrating, and it's my honor to call Kunle Ajibade to come and read the citation for the two awardees for the honorary category. Kunle Ajibade, please.
This is a very prestigious award. Please put your hands together for him as he comes up for the citation.
Professor Wole Soyinka, the Consul General of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Professor Rocco Shekoni and his wife, Dakwolorun Yomino, Auntie Bimbo Loyede, ladies and gentlemen, I was asked to do this, commandeered to do this last night, so I will be brief. And this is just going to be, since Justice Salami is not here, it's just going to be on Odia Ofemu. Odia Ofemu is formidably learned and insightful. His poetry and journalism are distinguished by their eloquence and dazzling intelligence. Deriving strength and confidence in stubborn hope, he fights relentlessly for social justice, economic equity, and political fairness. He doesn't know how to compromise with evil. As a young man, Odia was obstinate, irreverent, self-respecting, and sassy. He never bowed to penury. He never bowed to bullies. He never bowed to arrogant power. Conscious of the meaning and significance of the name he bears with pride, he has been honest, courageous, and consistent ever since. At 16, he had become enormously well-read. He read and reread many great writers across the world who then made him a great poet. Before he turned 20, he wrote many of the frequently luminous poems that Wole Soyinka, Shino Achebe, Frank Agimokwede, Cyprian Ekwensi, Gerard Moore, and Ulibaya accepted and published and anthologized. When he was elected Publicity Secretary, General Secretary, and President of the Association of the Nigerian Authors, he helped to mentor many young writers. Working with Kole Omotosho, he made sure that Anna sponsored the publication of Izia Ahmad's A Shout Across the Wall, Kemi Atondai Lori's Amnesty, Uche Nduka's Flower Child, Afamake's stolen moment, a man Usman Shea was questioned for Big Brother, and Esiabai Robi's Kotiledon. All of them were gifted young poets who deserve recognition. The association also published an anthology of new Nigerian poetry, Voices from the Fringe, edited by Harry Garuba. His own Bill House, published in 2012, Tade Ikpadeola's The Sahara Testament, which won in 2013 the Nigeria Prize for Literature, instituted by the LNNG. Mario Vargas Llosa, the Peruvian novelist and 2010 winner of the Nobel Prize in Literature, said that literature is a form of permanent insurrection, that its mission is to arouse, to disturb, to alarm, to keep men in a constant state of dissatisfaction with themselves. Since the publication of the poetry of his youth, which won the University of Ibadan Poetry Competition in 1975, Odia Ofeemu has never stopped to arouse and to keep his readers in a constant state of dissatisfaction with perennial and anomic conditions militating against their progress and well-being. In poem after poem, Ofeemu strikes a balance between the emancipatory force of his content and the vividness, the intensity, the lyricism, and the elegance of his form. He is highly regarded as a generation-defining poet because of his genius at handling this delicate balance. Compassionate, perceptive, resolute, and argumentative. Ofeemu grips you with his passion, which his passionate writing mostly lays with unremitting, justified fury at the irresponsible power elite and corporate hollow men and garrulous trash people in the larger society. In his critical essays, he speaks clearly and vigorously for the rejected and the dispossessed. And he celebrates ideas and movements that will make our world a better place to live in. As bigotry unfolds at decent pace around the world now, and wisdom is treated with ignominy, as barbarians keep pumping up the volume of their noise, as agents of oblivion fight dirty to dominate the public space, as putative fascists try to create an alternative universe, falsifying reality and undermining the power and possibility of critical thinking, the world urgently needs more clear-headed people like Odia Ofeemu, who have combinations of moral authority and lucid voice. We are reminded of Ofeemu's poignant argument on the importance of open society. We are reminded of his strong arguments on the necessity for liberal representative democracy and the building of a good society. The brilliant African-American novelist, essayist, and playwright James Baldwin once said, "I love America more than any other country in the world, and exactly for this reason, I insist on the right to criticize her perpetually." Odia Ofeemu loves his country wholeheartedly, and for this reason, he insists on criticizing it perpetually. He did that as a factory worker. He did that as a young political science undergraduate at the University of Ibadan, contesting for the presidency of the Student Union. He did that as a secondary school teacher. He did that as a private secretary, as the private secretary to Chief Obafemi Awolowo, with whom he had many robust debates. During their debate sessions, Awolowo and Odia were like two nuclear powers in a single place. He criticized Nigeria constructively as a columnist and member of the editorial board of the Guardian newspapers. He did that as a columnist and chairman of the editorial board of AM News, PM News, Tempo, and The News. He did that as president of the Association of Nigerian Authors. He does that regularly now as an eclectic eyebrow who shares knowledge with other concerned citizens like him and mobilizes at public gatherings to provoke a revival of hope and inculcate a sense of obligation in everyday people. Apart from several anthologies, he has published books of evocative, gutsy, and clarifying essays on politics, literature, and culture, such as June 12's Dilemma, When Does a Civil War come to an End? In Search of Ogun, Soyinka in Spite of Nietzsche, Taking Nigeria Seriously, A House of Many Mansions, Media Nigeriana, This Conference Must Be Different, An Impossible Death of African Author. He has published the following poetry collection: The Poet Lied, A Handle for the Flutist, Dreams at Work and Other Poems, London Letter and Other Poems, Go Tell the Generals, I Will Ask Questions with Stones If They Take My Voice, A Boiling Caracas and Other Poems, No Country is Enough, and Geography as Fate. His poems for dance drama include Under African Skies, A Feast of Returns, Itoya, A Dance for Africa, Nigeria the Beautiful, and Because of 1914. These are clearly award-winning books, yet Odia Ofemu, who has helped to set up different literary awards, not only in Ghana but also elsewhere, has refused to compete for prizes. In 2010, however, he accepted the Follow Nichols Award for Excellence in Writing and Human Rights Activism, conferred on him by the US-based African Literature Association. Long before then, he was at Oxford University in England as a Commonwealth Fellowship. At the end of his productive stay in England, he came back to Nigeria to join the struggle against the dictatorships of Generals Ibrahim Babangida and Sani Abacha. Odia poured all his intellectual energy into that struggle. He always said that if he did not have the outlet to fight those tyrants with his writings, he would have had to fight them by some dangerous means necessary. In June 2025, at 75 years old, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu conferred on him one of the major national honors, Commander of the Order of the Niger, CON, for his meritorious contributions to the growth of Nigeria. Please join me with a round of applause as I welcome Odia to the stage to receive his award. Odia Ofemu. And thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. The Wole Soyinka Lifetime Award for Journalistic Excellence will now be presented to Odia Ofemu. Please let us make welcome Professor Wole Soyinka to do us that honor. This is the point where you cannot afford to stop clapping. Keep clapping. Please let us also make welcome Professor Soyinka to present the Wole Soyinka Lifetime Award for Journalistic Excellence to the veteran Odia Ofemu. It is very challenging having to read a citation of veterans like this. We had to cut him short because if he had gone on, we wouldn't leave here by midnight. So you can't afford to stop clapping because the citation is still supposed to be on. It is the least that you can do. Thank you, DJ. Can you bring it down a little?
I'm supposed to make a few remarks. A few comments. I am? Okay, all right. Please be seated. I am not going to tell the story of how, of how Odia and I finally met. All I can say is that he was very kind, because I was compiling an anthology of African poems, and I ran into his poem, and I read another one. It was a manuscript. I said, I want these in the anthology. But I couldn't find him. I was in exile. Nobody could track him down. And I said, well, it's okay. I'll publish. All he can do is sue me later on for copyright infringement. I'm in exile. I can't find him, so he can't find me either. So I published his poems, and I think it was Bola Ige who eventually located his address. And I said, I hope you didn't mind. I said, no, that's perfectly all right. Did I ever pay you royalty for the other? I don't think so. No. All right. Let me say what a great, great reward it is for me to have to present this award to Odia Ofeana. It really returns on a lifelong partnership. Of course, it's my Aburu, very, very junior, but just the same, I think we managed to have some collaborative years together. My suggestion, by the way, if I may make a quick comment on, by the way, if you're tired, let them get you a chair, because I still have one or two things to say. I warn you, all right? This name, Wole Soyinka, I don't type or hear him. Why don't you just next time say WS something award for short, or well, you know who Center for this and that, because I seem to be encountering this name everywhere. Only recently, people said that I'd bought the National Theatre in order to put my name on it. I get here today, and I encounter again Wole Soyinka Center. So next time, just say, all protocols are observed, award, and then we go on with our business. Now, one or two comments, general comments. Last year, at the World Poetry Day celebration in this town, we used the occasion to highlight the plight of, I wouldn't say illegal demolition. Let me just say inhuman demolition. I wouldn't use the word illegal because I really haven't thoroughly investigated the background to it. Were the tenants warned? Were they legitimately and humanely evacuated before the demolition? Or did they just wake up to bulldozers? I even wrote a poem, which I recited, to the tune which I had composed of a previous demolition, Morocco. Some of you may remember the song. I heard that song just to remind us that this is a continuing thing which just has to be given concerted attention. We use the image of an old woman sitting on the rubble of her former possessions, and I entitled the poem Eche Homo. Behold the man is the translation, but in this case it was behold this ancient. And we sent a note. We invited the construction, the health department to that poetry festival, just to emphasize the fact that poetry cannot exist without humanism and without a sense of humanity. A year later, just a few weeks ago, I got yet another letter with photographs and testimonies of yet another demolition taking place, and a number of people rendered totally homeless. And I asked myself, because this goes all the way back to aforementioned Morocco under the military regime, and to have this cycle repeated again and again, I see there are no solutions. I'm not saying for a moment, please don't misunderstand me and don't misquote me. I'm not saying for a moment that demolitions shouldn't take place. Nobody likes to wake up in the middle of water being drowned because of floods. And I know there are legitimate structural reasons for this. But for heaven's sake, let us demand some sense of humanity when these horrendous necessities, let's just call them necessities, are carried out. I hope that I would not have to get on a platform again, be it the World Poetry Day or you-know-who Center for Journalism celebrations, to make this appeal. I think we've had enough of this cycle of dehumanization. That's number one. The other bit of commentary I have to make is a far more cheerful one, and that is to congratulate everyone here for having escaped yet another military interregnum right next door to us in the Republic of Benin. What happens to Benin affects us. But you know something? Tinubu didn't have to send the Air Force and the military to deal with this particular insurrection, this threat to our own sense of security and equilibrium. No, there are easier ways of doing it. Let me tell you where Tinubu should have looked for forces to quell that insurrection. Right here in Lagos, right here, or in Abuja, perhaps, I don't know. But there was no need to call the military or the Air Force. I'll tell you what happened. On one of my home visits, this about 2 months ago, I was coming out of a hotel and I saw what looked like a film set. And I said, oh, they're shooting a film. That was on the grounds of this hotel. And a young man detached himself from the actors, came over and greeted me, very polite, very nice young man. And I said, are you shooting somebody? I said, I'm just joking. Are you shooting a film? He said, no. And I looked around. There was nearly a whole battalion occupying that, the grounds of that hotel, in Ikoyi, right here. So I got back in my car and I asked the driver who that young man was. And he told me. And I saw this SWAT team, a mixture. They were at least heavily armed, at least some 15 or so heavily armed to the teeth security personnel. Looked sufficient to take over a small country, neighboring city like Benin. And I think the next time, the president should just call and say, Sheyi, go and quell the rebellion over there. I was so astonished that I started looking for the National Security Advisor. I said, track him down for me. I think they got him somewhere in Paris, but I was with the president. He was at a meeting. And I said, I've just seen something I can't believe, I don't understand. And I described the scene to him. I said, do you mean that a child of the head of state goes around with an army for his protection or whatever. I couldn't believe it. Later on, I did some investigative journalism, and I inquired, and I found that apparently this is how this young man goes around with his battalion, his heavy armed soldiers. Of course, the road was cleared before his car went out. I stayed until it seemed he was leaving. So next time there's an insurrection, I think the president should just call that young man and say, "Go and put down those stupid people there. You have enough troops under your command, so don't bother me with all these security issues any longer." Let's not overdo things. This is not the first country that has a head of state. It's not the first country whose head of state has families. And I think children should know their place. They are not potentates. They're not heads of state. And the security architecture of a nation like this suffers some injury and alienation when we see such a heavy devotion of security to one young individual. You'll excuse me, but I'm in and out most of the time. And this place is named after me. It's my center. So if I go off the immediate subject of awards, I hope you'll excuse me for taking possession of my own center. I wish to congratulate all the awardees. Please, please keep it up. And I wish to congratulate the journalistic profession. I've said again and again that some of the heroes of the survival of this nation will be found among the media. At the same time, however, I have to appeal to the media to be a lot more stringent, to have a greater scrutiny on what they put out. There's too much misrepresentation. I stand here, I understand what it is, and I know how it feels. But the media can do a lot more. There's a war on, by the way, and for this I congratulate the media. There's a media war. I'm very glad to see it. A media war between what you might call what is known as the social media, and what is known, very little known, however, but is very much there, as the social merit. French-speaking people, you kindly translate that word to those who are sitting next to you. The social merit is overwhelming the social media. And the print media has a very strong and important role to this. They've got to take the battle to these inhabitants of the social merit. Tomorrow, I fully expect to say, yes, Wole Soyinka, because we're attacking him. Therefore, I've been saying this again and again and again. I said it in Cairo, I said it in Uganda, I said the social merit will start the next world war. And you will find that the entrepreneurs of such a mission come from this nation. They're the worst abusers of the social media. So please, media, print, and the authentic social media, take the battle to these creatures of the national merit. Once again, thank you, everybody. Excuse me, but only once in a while.
Thank you so much, Prof. I believe he just gave his keynote address, but before you go, we'd like to hear from Professor Ofemom as well. Yes.
After head of state has made his speech, the party is supposed to end. I simply cannot add one word to what has been said. the Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism. I can thank the origins. I can thank the player who played for us, and without whom we really had no basis for much of what we have done. I wondered whether I should come upstairs to take this. But to be honest with you, I did it for just one reason. I took many of the awards that I gained along the way. But for God's sake, somebody denied me this. And so I'm being offered the Soyinka Award without all the problems I thought I was going to go through. This is an award that I am happy to share with everybody, from Dapsy to virtually all the people who took part in my participation in the Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Award. Let me put it this way. If I did not get this by some means, I would have found a way to put it in my bag.
Come on, put your hands together. That's amazing. Okay.
But it is actually my excuse for giving Professor Wole Soyinka a handshake.
That's awesome. Both of you look good together. Before you go, just one more thing, Prof. By the way, Professor Soyinka is 91 years old and is looking so strong and beautiful. Just one more assignment, Prof. We'd like you to also present, just before you go, the Human Rights Defender Award, which will be presented to Justice Ayo Salami. I'd like to call on Professor Rocco Shekoni to please come up quickly to receive this award on behalf of Justice Isa Ayo Salami. Justice Salami is a respected Nigerian jurist known for his integrity, firm judicial temperament, and commitment to justice. He served as the president of the Court of Appeal from 2009 to 2011, where he earned a reputation for delivering courageous judgments and upholding judicial independence. Distinguished guests, this year's Human Rights Defender Award will now be presented to Justice Ayo Salami, who is ably represented here by Professor Shekoni. Please, a round of applause, distinguished guests. By the way, Prof just gave us the headline news tonight on the news at 10. Can we put our hands together for him?
Well, I saw that my wife was excited. This is not my award. This is for Justice Ayo Salami, who deserved every atom of this award that I am holding for obvious reasons. And I promise you that I will deliver it intact.
Thank you so much, Professor Shekoni. A round of applause. Before you go, please don't go yet. We're going to take a group picture. While we're doing that, the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy in Lagos came in. Mr. Gbenga Motosho, can we put our hands together for him?
You're welcome, Mr. Motosho. So let's have joining up here for the pictures, the judges, the presenters, members of the board. Please do come up here. And Mr. Luyede, the presenters. please do come up here. We need to take the picture. The judges, the presenters, members of the board, please do come up here for...
So we have the honor of cutting the cake for the 20th anniversary of Wole Soyinka.
Also invite the Commissioner for Information, Mr. Motoshaw. Please do join for the picture.
Honorable Commissioner, please join them. We're going to have the cutting of the cake just before the pictures. Prof, when was the last time you cut a cake? Please, can you put your hand here? Yes. We're going to count down from 1 to 20. Can we do that? Honorable Commissioner, we're waiting for you. Okay, can we have the latest laureates to join them as well? Yes, the prize winners. Let us count together 1 to 20. Everyone, let's go. 1, 2, 3. I can't hear you. 4, 5, 6, 7. Give me 8, 9, 10. That's just 10 years. Now let's go for 20. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20 years. Awesome. Can we have the winners join them on stage for this photograph as well? We'll now take a brief goodwill message.
We're gonna celebrate, have a good time. It's time. It's up to you. It's
Well, my friends, the time has come. Raise the roof and have some fun. Throw away the works to be done.
All right, we'd like to invite the Commissioner for Information, Mr. Motoshaw. Thank you so much. Congratulations, awardees. We need for a speech from you, sir.
forever, yes sir, forever.
Are we? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. We now have goodwill remarks from the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Strategy in Lagos, Mr. Gbenga Omotosho. Can we please put our hands together for him? Thank you so much.
Good evening, all. Unfortunately, I wasn't here when the protocol was established, but I will try my best. All our leaders and elders who are here, Professor Wole Soyinka, Odia Ofemu, my teacher, Professor Gracie, and all my professional colleagues, journalists who are here. I never knew that I was going to make a speech on coming here. We had, unusually, an ESCO meeting today, and I had to rush out of the place because my governor, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, reminded me that I had to be here. He wanted to come by himself, but he traveled to Abuja, and he came in to do some of the things he did today, inauguration of a new council for LASU, and then the ESCO meeting. So he couldn't come, and he said, I should come here. And when I asked him what I should say here, he said, well, I should just congratulate all the awardees and let them know that they are the people who have been holding the torch of journalism in Nigeria. Today, when you talk about journalism, the people that are really very well known are people who are mere commentators, people who sit down on television and who write in newspapers about things that are happening. All of us who are journalists, we are opening our eyes every day, and we see that what is at the heart of journalism, reporting, investigative reporting, is dying. Everybody is now a commentator. There are those I even call microphone terrorists. Because as soon as they hold the microphone, they begin to abuse people, they begin to say things that they know little or nothing about. Nobody is doing anything about reporting at all. So for us to find out today, there are still awards for people who can do good reporting, investigative reporting. I think I congratulate the Wole Soyinka Center for this feat. To have been doing this for 20 years is no joke. It shows resilience, it shows courage, it shows energy, it shows loyalty. Loyalty, not just the profession of journalism, but loyalty to all of the things that all these investigative reporters, they are written about. So on this note, I would like to, on behalf of my boss, Mr. Sanwo-Olu, thank you for keeping the flag flying, Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you so much, sir. So let's take a breather now. We're going to be calling on the Kakaki Cultural Troupe to help us relax and appreciate our own culture. Kakaki Cultural Troupe, please. Kakaki, where are you guys? Okay, all right. Thank you so much. We'll just give you a little bit of time to have your dinner and relax, and then we'll be back to take the show to the closing part.
time, and the rhythm is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your heart is rich, and your mind's good looking. So hush, my little baby, don't you cry. Summertime, and the rhythm is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Your heart is rich, and your mind's good looking. So hush, my little baby, don't you cry. Don't be sad, understand. Everyone needs time just to go away. Wake up to a brand new tomorrow. 'Cause love is only for a brighter day. Say don't you worry, and one love set you free. Oh, one love keep us together. Living in a world we struggle to stay in the light. One love keep us together. It's living in a world we struggle to stay in the light. One love keep us together. Why don't you tell me why do we fight it? Love is all we need for a brighter day. So wake up to a brand new day. 'Cause love will make a chance you each day. Say don't you worry, let one love set you free. Oh, one love keep us together. Living in a world we struggle to stay in the light. One love keep us together. Living in a world we struggle to stay in the light. One love keep us together. One love, one love, forever. One love keep us together. One love, forever. One love keep us together. So living in a world we struggle to stay in our light. One love keep us together. Oh, living in a world we struggle to stay in our light. One love keep us together. If you dance with me and run away, I'll be and you go dance again. If you rock with me and run away, I'll be and you go once again. Oh my le, oh my le, oh my le 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 le. Oh my le, oh my le, oh my le, oh yeah le. If you dance with me and run away, I'll be and you go dance again. If you rock with me and run away, I'll be and you go rock again. Oh my le, oh my le, oh my le 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 le. Oh my le, oh my le, oh my le, oh le. You were the more bright. Guitar boy, if you see mommy water, if you see mommy water, never, never you run away. Yeah, yeah, never run away. Victor, oh, I go any kind of faith. Joromi, Jomi, Joro. Any kind of faith. Joromi, Jomi, Joro. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Joromi, oh, Jomi, Joro. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Joromi, oh, Jomi, Joro. Kind of faith. Joromi, Jomi, Joro. Any kind of faith. Joromi, Jomi, Joro. Joromi. Jeremy, baby. Jeremy, Jeremy, Jeremy. Any kind of man. Jeremy, Jeremy, Jeremy. A good man coming from the Lord. They know they see him for markets. A good man is a blessing from above. Her type no day for markets. I told him, but you have to. Batarisa, Orisa, Sibia. Oyibo, Oriatu. Batarisa, Orisa, Sibia. Always loving everybody, no discrimination. Watarima, no competition. Alright. Yeah,
thank you so much, Baptist. Let's appreciate them. I don't know how you sit down and you hear such good music. You know, I don't know how to hold still. I hope we can get more of it. Okay? So we'll enjoy ourselves afterwards and just chill a bit. But for now, we need to hear the voice of an individual who has driven the vision of this center for these 2 decades. Driving all of this amidst all the hurdles and obstacles cannot or could not have been an easy job. But she's been able to push that and push through and attract you to be able to come in here today, even after your busy day at work. Let's welcome the Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism, Mrs. Motunrayo Alaka. Ms. Alaka, you can't escape this one again. Please, let's make her feel welcome. She's the one who invited you and you came. That means there's some value that she's adding. Thank you so much for all you do, Ms. Alaka.
I know. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I also tried to talk my way out of this one, but the compare was did not allow me. Good evening. Thank you so much for coming to celebrate 20 years of courage with us. We appreciate your presence. We appreciate Professor Wole Soyinka for trusting his name with us. Earlier today, I was thinking of, the early years when we would have events to do, and where we would write a press release, and I was always almost paranoid around the office saying, you guys don't do anything that causes a scandal. This man is over 70, and he gave us his name. It will not be on our account that his name will be scandalized. And thankfully, 20 years, we've done our best to keep the integrity of that name intact and done our best to contribute to the respect of that name. I just wanted us to reflect a bit about the next years of journalism. But before I do that, I thought it was also in order, like I wrote in my speech in your program, to thank the founder of the foundation, of the institution, Mr. Dakwolonyomi. Please, can we give a round of applause? Dapsy will continue to thank you. And we thank Professor Rocco Shekoni and Mrs. Banker Shekoni, who have also been there from the beginning to support the vision. All of our board members, some of them are not here, GT, Ogunye, Mr. Idowo Basa. They have supported us from the onset, and we thank them very much for that. Dapsy made a roll call of members of staff he wanted to thank, and my colleague, Laura Ede, will still do the appreciation. But I wanted to particularly thank 2 members of staff who have been, with us from close to inception, inception and close to inception up till now. And special honors, and please put your hands together for Yakubu Akfuye. Yakubu was also at this event at the Ajib Recital Hall in 2005. And, he was part of that team from that time. And also Hope Nwadiwe, who joined us a few years later in 2011 and has been with the organization since then. Please appreciate them. Yes, the extra clap you hear from the back is from the staff table. The staff table, and yes, we must celebrate these people. Yes, thank you so much for the commendation, Dapsy, that a tree can make a forest. But, a tree needs to have branches, it has to have leaves, it needs to have roots, and all of these people are the people that have made WSCIJ possible. I made a roll call of members of staff who have served in the past in the morning. I won't go through that again, but just to thank everybody who has been a part of the Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism. In the room, I can see Bisola Achipola. I can also see Deolu Adekola trying to mind his business, who came all the way from Canada, one of the Jackpot group. So thank you so much for coming. We thank the Lagos State government. We thank particularly Mr. Motosho for being in the room. And thank you. I can't go through all these faces I'm seeing, but I must thank Mr. Akunle Ajibade. Mr. Akunle Ajibade always says something to me every time please give a round of applause. He says something to me every time that I see him. He says, Moturayo, Kusheo, Kushe. And that means a lot to me. Thank you so much. And every time that we need him to do one thing or the other, he's always available. And he's also one of those people who did investigative journalism when there were no awards, to be collected for it, when it was just for the passion of the work. And so please celebrate Mr. Akunle Ajibade, who is. So I wanted to say a few things about reflections on the future. I've mentioned in many meetings that 3 things that I think are the future of journalism. I believe that it is local, believe that it is digital, and I believe it is collaborative, the future of journalism. And I would just break down very briefly what those things mean. At the Maiden Journalism and Development Conference of the Center for Journalism, Innovation and Development, which is also founded by Mr. Dapo Oloyomi, I made a longer speech on this, so I'll just pick few notes from it. When I say the future of journalism is local, for the journalists and the media organizations who are looking to the future, it is local in the sense that, you have to watch what your environment is saying at the local level. The future of journalism, if it's local, therefore, it is going to be young, because the demography at the local level tells us that the future is young. The young people make up, most of the population of our country and of our continent. Also, the future of journalism will have to care about the languages. It will have to care about the relevance to the people. It has to care about what is happening at the local level. And also that is digital. And for digital, I would say that we must first understand it. There's a lot of conversation about synthetic intelligence, AI, and the rest of it, but we are not spending enough time to understand. We have to understand it, we have to deploy it, and we also have to question it as investigative journalism. And finally, it is that the future is collaborative. We cannot do the future as individuals. We cannot do the future as standalone organizations. We have to do it as collectives. the issues confronting us are not issues that individual journalists or individual media organizations are going to be able to face alone. Take strategic lawsuits, against persons, for instance. You cannot stand against that on your own. Attacks on journalists, you can't do that on your own. AI, you cannot face it on your own. So we need to collaborate more, and we need to work together more to ensure that the future is sure for us. So on this note, I would just like to again thank you for coming to honor us tonight. Thank you again to Mr. Dapo Oloyinka for believing in this young person who in 2005 was, I'm trying to calculate the age, was 23 or 24, and entrusting, this vision, into, yes, please, entrusting this vision into my hands and into the hands of colleagues. And to the current members of staff of WSCIJ, thank you so much for this great job. Thank you all for being here.
Well done. Thank you so much, Mr. Laka, and thank you for carrying the vision on. God bless you and lead you aright even more. Well, it's coming to the end of it now, so we're going to have vote of thanks, and vote of thanks to be done by the Associate Director of Admin at the Center, Laura Ede. Laura?
Good evening, everybody. What a day it has been. On behalf of the Wole Soyinka Center of Investigative Journalism, we want to thank you so much for being part of this truly special evening for us. Tonight, we have celebrated courage, we've celebrated excellence, and the kind of journalism that shakes tables respectfully but firmly. And it has been an honor to share this room with you all. This year is not just another awards night. It marks 20 good years of WSCIJ and 20 years of Wole Soyinka Award for Investigative Reporting. 2 decades of exposing failures, inspiring reforms, strengthening newsrooms, and insisting that truth is still worth fighting for. When you step back, the distance traveled is not a small thing at all. To our partners, funders, and supporters, thank you so much for standing with us, challenging us, and investing in work that isn't always easy, but definitely necessary. Your commitment keeps the ecosystem alive, accountable, and moving forward. A very special thank you to Professor Wole Soyinka, whose name, legacy, and courage continue to inspire this work that we do. The award exists because of his lifelong insistence on truth, freedom, and accountability. To our amiable founder, Mr. Dapo Oloyinka, the founder of WSCIJ, thank you for this vision. And the stubborn belief that journalism must serve the public good. None of us in this room will be here without the part that you've carved. To our board members, thank you for your guidance, your accountability, and the wisdom you bring to every decision. Your commitment continues to strengthen the foundation that we stand on. To our finalists and the laureates, thank you for reminding us why this work matters. Your stories push the needle of truth, justice, and governance. And tonight is simply our small way of saying, we see you. Please don't stop. If anyone was planning to slow down after this award, bad news. This is actually your encouragement letter. To our judges and screening committee, thank you so much for the rigor, the late nights, and the integrity you bring to this process. The credibility of this award rests heavily on your shoulders, and you carry it with so much excellence. To the entire WSCIJ team, thank you for lifting heavy behind the scenes, the coordination, all the crises that we have averted, the details you held together, and the countless moving parts that you made to make this look effortless. 2 decades in, and the engine is still running because of people like you. To our guests who have traveled, rearranged schedules, fought Lagos traffic to be here, your presence means more than you imagine. And finally, to every one of you who continues to believe in journalism as a public good, thank you. The work is tough, the terrain is shifting, and the landscape is loud. But nights like this reminds us that integrity still has an audience. Thank you everyone for celebrating with us. Please get home safe, stay inspired, and keep championing the truth. We need every one of you. Have a good night.
Thank you, Laura, and congratulations to the center. And Ifemi, it's been fun. It's been a privilege. Thank you so much for coming out, as Laura said, going through all the traffic, especially because you had to go to work earlier today. We really do appreciate your presence, and we believe it was worth your time. We'll do better next year, yeah?
And I think we may have found the best live band in Lagos. We're going to hand over the mic to them to walk the crowd. What a night it's been. Thank you so much for coming out. For anchoring this event, I think we have become Soyinka laureates. we don't need to submit any.
Prof said he's tired of hearing the name, so we should just take it easy on the name.
I am Nifemi Ogutoye. Thank you for coming out tonight, everyone.
And I'm Ini John Mekwa. Thank you for your time.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I say, would it be a sin? But I can't help falling in love with you. As the river flows gently to the streams, baby, may we go singing something we're meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, but I can't help falling in love with you. Said I can't help falling in love with you. I say when I want you, baby, in my life, when I need you, darling, to hold me tight whenever I want you. All I've got to do is dream, 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 dream. When I need you, darling, in my life, when I want you, baby, to hold me tight whenever I want you. All I've got to do is dream, 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 yeah. When I want you, baby, in my life, when I need you, darling, to hold me tight whenever I want you. All I've got to do is dream, 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 dream. I've got a dream, a song to sing, to help me cope, read everything. You can see the wonder of a fairy tale. You can hear the ground floor